So let's get right into it. Let's change ourselves, change our perception of time, and see what happens. So you could be sitting down, laying down. We did an in-person meditation a couple weeks ago where everybody was standing around a campfire. And what's fascinating is that the more we get used to this, the more we have the ability to be able to sustain these simple flow states. And so no matter what we're doing, we have the ability to sustain coherence, and it changes our behavior in the best ways possible. Like many always hear us referencing, when we create a habit of what has always been there, but that without knowing it, we've allowed the world to make us think that we need to be what the world needs us to be. And we went along with that program, most of us, but it wasn't ours. And the real source of information is the predominant bulk of all reality. So be relaxed. Scan your body from the top of your head to the tip of your toes at your own pace. And as you relax, just notice any resistance, any pain, or maybe it's feelings that go up and down. Maybe you hear these sounds in the inner ear. We're told that it's tinnitus, and it might be. But the closer you listen, the more these great patterns of ancient communication that have always been in communication with us, but that we just simply weren't paying attention to them until now. Or maybe you have been. We are at all times a complete representation, body, mind, heart, and soul, of what we are. And what are we? Each and every one of us is nothing shy of an absolute miracle in action, of supremely crafted composites of self-awareness and at the same time soul awareness, all integrated into who we think we are. And it's always been there. And it's always going to be there, even though so few pay attention to it. And of course, it's going to be the only thing that's there, because that is what is truly happening. And so in these bodies, in this life, we have this brief opportunity to rise above the conditions of our conditioning, of this short little program based upon stress and disbelief, and losing sight of what we actually are, even though there's no way to lose it. So do your best just to really be calm. And for this time that we're going to be spending together, allow yourself to focus on the part of you that is energy-based. Meaning, for just a little bit, you don't need to focus on your physical body. Focus on the energy that's allowing this body to be here, to be who we are. And shift your awareness from being narrow-focused to predominantly thinking and feeling in relation to this little view of who you think you are. And that little view can also be relaxed. And in that little view, you can begin to widen the scope of it so that you're no longer looking at tunnel vision. You are expanding your awareness to everything in front of you, to the sides of you, behind you. You don't even need eyes. Your awareness is everywhere. Below you, above you. You are at all times, everyone, everywhere, and everything. And when you allow yourself to be that big, that expanded, while at the same time holding on gently to what you identify with, the person that you believe yourself to be. when you allow yourself to be as big as you are. All of that awareness, energy, it begins to influence you. This person that's having this bodily experience, that has senses that are incredibly beautiful and powerful. And sometimes we feel frail. Most people don't feel like they fit in anywhere. And there's a long list of reasons why. But when it comes right down to it, the disconnection of why they don't feel like they fit into the world is because they are in resistance of being in these bodies, of having come to this point in their life while we are all here doing this together. Every thought, belief, behavior, action of everybody's life experience becomes wired. It becomes a habit. And without even knowing it, we have consciously created a habit of who we think we are and who we are from this little view can be a lot of limiting factors. Because even though we know deep down that we truly are this innate intelligence of infinite proportion, even though we know that, we're having this little experience where it appears that we've forgotten. And as limiting as some might think that is, it may actually be the greatest gift we could ever have if we would just open up and receive it. And that is to simply be who you are. Be aware in all the different ways you've created in exercising this habit of perception. Let it be all of it. You don't need to push any of it away. But as you be all of what you are, just like we were doing, allow that close focus, that narrow focus to expand everywhere, in all directions simultaneously. and allow yourself to become aware of the nature of your awareness itself. And the more you do that, the more that bit by bit you tap into this knowing, this being, this part of you that you know is there, but that for whatever reason took a lot of trials and tribulations to get there. And honor that. All of the fears that you've harbored since the first time you got hurt, all the things that happened in your life where you had to contract this energy of who and what you are. Embrace it all. You don't have to push it out from a place of disconnection. We're simply shifting our awareness to focus on the nature of our awareness. And within that, the knowing and being of what we have always been begins to imbue itself into your self-awareness, into who you think you are. And once you have chosen to activate that process, and you feel what it's like to be in a body that you are intentionally opening your heart to, a body that, even though all the trials and tribulations affected you so much, even in spite of all of that, you're choosing to open up and embrace all of you, honoring everything about you. The fear, the sadness, the chaos, all of that brought you to where we are right now. And in this now, the only place that we could ever truly make a choice from, we can choose to not allow any of the habitual past that we created habits of without even knowing it. We can choose right now to define ourselves on our terms, to choose all the things that you've always known are there. To choose that the fears that you suspect are behind and within your limitations. You can choose right now to be defined by right now, by creating a habit of being so aware of your own awareness that is not incarcerated by anybody or anything. And that is absolutely in all forms infinite, innate intelligence comprised in this image that we appear to be within ourselves. And by expanding and perceiving everything as it is, these old cycles begin to become no longer relevant to what's happening right now. They're great. They got us where we are. But we don't need to hang on to habits that we created without even realizing it, when we have the power to reverse engineer that process, and by choice create habits of full focus now. Create habits that are as expanded as we could ever be. Habits that are so profound and big that celestial objects in space around us support us, just like they are all in support with each other to varying and differing degrees. So too do we have that support, and actually way more. But that way more support that's being referenced is for you to choose to be in a state of being with it in your own time, when you're ready. And if that's now, that's you building the foundation for your eternal self, to what you have always been, to what you will always be, because you are focusing on it where it lives right now in you, around you. And just like you can feel your heartbeat. You have the ability to feel what it is that's causing the heart to beat. And consider that for a few moments. What is causing the heart to beat? And are you able to be aware of it? Because if you are it, then why do you believe that you can't feel it or know it? It is yours. You are it. It is reality. It is where everything that you have ever known or perceived in this life, it has all come from this energy that is causing the heart to beat. And it's just as knowable as you know your heart to beat. You can feel your heartbeat. And with practice, you can feel your pulse anywhere in your body. And you can also feel yourself everywhere around your body, to whatever degree you are ready for. And whether you're aware of yourself on that scale or not, don't beat yourself up about it. There is no way to mess this up. This has been going on forever. And we have been right there along with it. As life evolves, from nothing comes something. And when we choose to know that, the illusion dissolves. The knowing of who you are in this life becomes consciously interwoven with what you really are. This high-pitched, incomprehensibly intelligent frequency that is causing the heart to beat, that causes all of these complex bodily systems to work together, whether we're paying attention to it or not. And when we choose to pay attention, then at some point, attention starts to pay us. Because when we choose to take time and nurture what many of us feel is the most important relationship there could ever be, but that so few don't even know they're already having it. Those who choose to nurture that relationship begin to lift the veil of limited perceptual awareness and begin to open it up to awareness big as you want to be, because you already are. And when you close out the old cycles of who you used to be and embrace yourself as you are, even if you don't believe yourself to be what you're capable of being. You can make a choice to no longer let those old habits to define you. And you can choose for yourself to create who you have always known you have the potential to be. And listen to the words, but listen closer to the space between and in the words. There is no such thing as awkward silence. For within silence is everything. We are not ever alone. Each one of us is at all times in connection with all who have lived before us. We are holding the flag, representing everybody who came before us, and that leads directly to who we are right now. And what a beautiful responsibility. What an incredible legacy. In fact, it's so incredible that hardly anybody knows it. As silly as that is. Because it's not tangible in the way that we think. But it is knowable because it is what allows us to know in the first place. And so close out your past if you want. Let yourself know that you have the ability to close out all that ever was, so that you can embrace all that you are right now. And one of the most incredible things that happens when we do that is that we create new memories. Memories of us consciously connecting to what we obviously know is right there. And the more we consciously connect to the source of our life force, things start to happen. Shivers go up and down our spine, everywhere on the skin of our body, and everywhere within the body. And when you create yourself as the environment for this type of alchemical transformation, because you are already a bunch of chemistry working together, you just flick the switch of your inner smile. And with that inner smile, you are immediately changing the frequency of your body chemistry. And you are sending signals to the source of your life force. You're sending signals to your soul, letting it know that you are ready to become so much more aware of this most vital element, that if we didn't have it, this wouldn't be happening. It is allowing us to be here, to be connecting like this. And it is cause for celebration, because the more we step into that, the more we create memories by being present with what we are now, then all the habits of the past no longer have their power over us. And the more that we sustain these elevated states of being, just like your body detoxifies when you fast, when you sustain conscious connection to what is already there within you, all of that old stuff starts to purge itself from you, because it's not who you are. It's who you used to be. And it's from that place that you can nurture who you want to be, who you always know. you have the potential to be. And if you have trouble with relationships with others, I promise you that when you cultivate and sustain this internal relationship, everybody around you will change. They may not know it, but you will. And if they're not ready for that, at some level of their unconscious or their subconscious, they will go away, or they will lose the power that they are holding over you, or that you are allowing them to hold over you. The root of all relationship in this world begins and ends within us. How are we going to create a healthy world if we're disconnected to the very element that allows us to be healthy? How are we going to have the power to positively effectuate world change on a level and a scale that literally activates the galaxy? Because it's all already working. It's already doing what you are becoming conscious of within you. And at all times, whether we realize it or not, life is conspiring to create all the situations for you, in you, for you to face, so that you can bring an end to all the old unconscious habits, so that you can create new memories of consciously participating to the degree that you are ready to open your awareness. What a gift to live at times like these, where this is finally happening, and potentially at a global or galactic scale. So before we come out of this, I just want to plant a few seeds, or inspire you to choose if you want to plant them. As we come from the end cycles of the old year and begin new cycles of this year, go out on a limb. take the part of you that holds yourself back, whether you're depressed, whether you're anxious, and to the degree that those feelings go out of balance, and the imbalance of your inner polarities starts to bounce back and forth really quick. And it can feel chaotic, but what it's really doing is creating the potential for activation to explode, for awareness to expand. And just like an old star expands in its total chaos for a little bit, at some point that chaos ends because it's captured by the predominant coherent force of all reality that is the guiding light, that is the guiding word, the sound. Everything that we are, all the light, all the sound, everything comes from this place. So choose, to whatever degree you want to make new memories, where you successfully bring yourself to an experience that inspires you. And when you can do that once, you memorize the feeling because it inspired you. And the more you keep focusing, the more your self-esteem comes up, because you can create and recreate these experiences. And then one day, you just realize that the habit was worth it. And that maybe it's the only thing that's ever been worth it. And whenever or wherever you come to realize that, no matter how much past stuff you have to confront along the way, I promise it is always worth it. And you'll be so glad. And so will so many others around you, even if they don't know it. So remind yourself that in the hours and days and weeks and months and year ahead, you're going to commit to creating the memories that you love, that you care about, that empower you. And at the same time, they reveal the parts of you that you no longer identify with. And it shows you all sides, all polarities so you can know which direction you want to go in and which direction you've left behind, or better yet, outgrown. And so start to bring your awareness back so that you're shifting your attention of the energy you really are. And you're intentionally bringing that awareness back into the core of your body. And when all of this energy that we just created and opened up to, it charges our blood, our cells, our DNA, everything. And that is what is always happening. And just pat yourself on the back energetically. You've got this. You are not alone, no matter how much you feel you are. You have everything that you could ever need and so much more to be who you know you really are. And if you don't know, then it's worth directing your attention to who it is you know or want to be. So take your hands, get them nice and warmed up, shivvy them together, create friction. And then when you're ready, take palms of your hands, put them over your eyes and create dark. And see if you notice anything in the dark. Anything. And if not, it's still perfect. I don't recommend that anybody go out and drink after this, unless it's water. I think Gregg may have transcended completely.
Wow. That was deep. I didn't even hear you do the hand, you know,
It's
together
all
with your
right.
hands.
There's a part of me that didn't hear it either.
Oh man. Okay, let me turn off my opacity. Wow. Okay. I didn't catch the end.
You did. Trust me, you
Okay.
did. It's there.
All right.
All right, everybody. Yeah. Happy New Year. We want
Yes.
everybody to have the best experience moving forward. Integrate all that we've shared and believe in yourself.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for attending
Yeah.
again.
Thank you,
And
guys.
we'll see you next year.
That's
Okay.
right.
All right. See you guys. And if you do go out tonight, be safe.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
All right. See you guys.
See you later.
Love y'all.